Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good day everyone. We are from the group 2 and welcome sa ating video report. Ang topic na na-assign sa amin is the pricing decisions and strategies, promotion communication with a purpose, and advertising and sales promotion. By the way, I am Gina Pinuhon, a third year food technology student, and I'm going to discuss the pricing decision and strategies. This is a game changer topic kasi ang presyo, it's not just a random number. It is the only part of marketing mix na nag-generate ng revenue. And ito ang powerful tools na pwedeng magpatumba or magpasikat sa isang produkto or the product. So, after my discussion on pricing, my groupmates will take over for the exciting word of promotion. Una, pag-usapan nila ang promotion communication with a purpose, which dive into the whole promotional mix. Then, a deep looks on the advertising and sales promotion. Now, let's start. So, ito pa lang pag-usapan natin sa pricing decision. Una, introduction to price, factors affecting pricing decisions, consumer psychology and price elasticity, factors determining demand elasticity, government actions affecting price, and then price environment and price wars, and then the conclusions. Introduction to price. So, naisip nyo ba kung bakit magkaibang presyo ng isang simpleng kape? Magkaano sa isang coffee shop versus doon sa isang 5-star hotel? Ang laking difference, di ba? The answer lies in the most critical and revenue generating element ng marketing mix. Ito na yung price. Okay, what is price? So ano ba talaga yung price? Simple lang. Price is the amount of money charged for a product or service. Pero malalim pa doon. Yan din yung sum of the values na ipinagpalit ng customer or consumer para makuha yung benefits ng product ninyo. Ano ang role niya? Una, as I mentioned, it is the only elements of the purpose na nag-generate ng revenue. Yung product, place, and promotion, gastos lang yon. And then, pangalawa, it is the most flexible element. Kaya mo siyang baguhin agad-agad, unlike changing a product or distribution channel. Lastly, it communicates the product's value positioning, premium ba siya or the budget friendly. Noong unang panahon, yung prices were set through negotiation or tawaran. Pero ngayon, dahil sa mga malls at online shopping, naging standard na ang pag-price. Pero, interestingly, binalik din ng internet ang negotiation like Shopee or Facebook Marketplace. So, like for example, sa Shopee, nag-offer sila ng free shipping, pagbibili ka ng marami is naliles yung original price niya. So, ganon. Although pricing is still important, dumadami na rin ang mga non-price factors like brand, quality, and service na naka-apekto sa decision ng customers. So, halimbawa, isipin nyo ang Apple. Diba? Ang mahal yung product nila. Pero kahit mahal yung mga product nila is marami pa rin bumibili kasi trusted ang brand at maganda ang quality. Next is factors affecting pricing decisions. So ang pricing decisions ay naapektuhan ng dalawang factors. Dito yung internal at external factors. So sa internal factors, ito yung panloob, kumbaga na nasa loob ng company, sa loob ng paggawaan ng product mo. So, nandito yung cost, marketing mix strategy, organizational structure, at price objectives. So, sa cost, dito is gaano kalaki ang gastos sa paggawa at pagmarket ng product. And then sa marketing mix naman, ito yung premium ba or budget friendly ang positioning. So, organizational structure naman, ito yung sino ang nag-decide ng presyo. Ito ba ay centralized or bawat branch. And then sa price objectives naman ay dito yung gusto ba natin ng profit market share at or survival. So yun sa internal factors. And then sa external factors naman, ito yung panlabas. Like for example, consumers competitions, government, economic conditions. So, sa consumers naman, kung willing ba yung magbayad yung mga customer mo. So, dapat alam mo kung kaya ba nila yung product na yun. And then is sa competition naman, ano ang presyo ng kalaban? Kumbaga, dapat malaman mo yung ino-offer na presyo sa competitors mo. So, sa government man, dito pumapasok yung regulation regarding sa mga sa produkto. And sa economic conditions naman, dito yung pumapasok yung inflation at saka recession, yung pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin. Pero nagbaba yung halaga ng pera. So example, si Jollibee, nag-adjust sila sa presyo depende sa location at competition. Hindi tulad ni Rolex is consistent sila in high price dahil sa luxury yung brand nila. So dito tayo sa consumer psychology and price elasticity. So sa consumer perception of price, ang mga consumers may kanya-kanyang perception sa presyo. Minsan akala nila mahal kahit reasonable naman. May 5 klase ng customers based on price sensitivity. Una is price shoppers. So itong type ng customers na laging naghanap ng pinakamura na deal or ng produkto. Like for example, yung nagko-compare ng prices sa Lazada man or sa Shopee bago bumili. Kumbaga sila yung mga tao na i-compare nila muna yung price ng isang produkto kung saan mas mababa yung price niya bago sila bumili. Next naman is brand loyal customers. So dito ito yung mga type ng customers na loyal sa isang brand. Like for example, yung bibili pa rin ng Nike kahit may mas murang alternative kasi nga loyal sila sa Nike and durable pa. And then next naman is status seeker. So sila yung mga customers na bumili ng mamahaling brand para sa image. Kumbaga para ma-enhance yung social status nila. Like for example, kahit bibili sila ng like for example sa iPhone, di ba? Yung iba is bibili sila para makitang social yung status nila. Yung iba is bibili ng LBU bag. Yon. Service feature shopper. So dito is mas importante ang features kaysa sa presyo. Wala silang pakialam kung mahal ba ito, kung mahal. Basta importante sa kanila is yung design, yung features ng isang product. So halimbawa, pipili ng hotel na mas maganda amenities kahit mas mahal. Kumbaga ganun yun. Pinipili nila yung magandang serbisyo kahit mahal pa ito. Yun. And then next is convenient shoppers. So dito is willing magbayad ng extra para maging convenient sila. Like for example, nag-order ng groceries online kahit may delivery fee. Yun. And then next is price elasticity. So ito yung sensitivity ng demand sa price changes. And then meron tayong tinatawag na elastic demand at saka inelastic demand. So sa elastic demand, ito yung konting taas ng presyo, bagsak agad ang demand. Like for example, sa airfare, pag may promo is dagsa agad ang bookings. Sa inelastic naman demand, kahit tumaas ang presyo, bibili pa rin. Like for example, gamot, kailangan pa rin kahit mahal. Yun. So ang unitary demand naman, ito is walang effect sa total revenue kahit magbago ang price. Mahalaga rito is para malaman kung kailan safe magtaas or magbaba ang presyo. So next topic natin is factors determining demand elasticity. So meron dalawang major factors ang nagde-determine ng elasticity. So meron availability of substitutes and urgency of needs. So sa availability of substitutes, meron tayong elastic at saka non-elastic. So pag sinasabi nating elastic, ito yung maraming alternatives. Like for example, sa soft drinks, kung magmahal ang Coke, so mag-Pepsi na lang. Kumbaga marami kang pagpipilian. And then sa inelastic naman, ito yung pumapasok dito yung pagka-unique ng isang product na kumbaga yung isang brand is high quality siya. Yun, kumbaga branded. And then sa urgency of need naman is meron din elastic and inelastic. So sa elastic, dito yung pumapasok low urgency. Kumbaga hindi siya gaano ka-urgent. Like for example, new shoes. So pwede siyang ipagpaliban. Kumbaga hindi muna tayo nang bibili kasi hindi natin yan hindi naman masyadong kailangan or yung hindi naman masyadong kailangan. And then sa inelastic naman, dito pumasok yung urgent need. Like for example, yung medicine natin, yung emergency repair. So siyempre urgency need yun, kakailangan talaga natin yon. So yun, next is government actions affecting price. So may mga batas ang gobyerno para i-regulate ang pricing. So una is price fixing. So ito yung illegal ang sabuatan ng competitors para mag-set ng presyo. Like for example, gas stations na sabay-sabay magtaas ang presyo. And then next is price discrimination. So dito, bawal magbigay ng ibang presyo sa ibang buyers na walang valid reason. Kung mas mahal ang binenta sa isang retailer kaysa sa iba. Yan example niya. And then next is Unfair Sales Act or the predatory pricing. So dito, bawal magbenta below cost para patumbahin ang kalaban. Kumbaga hindi pwede pababain mo yung price mo para lang maibagsak mo yung competitors mo. So example, yung malaking grocery na sobrang baba ng presyo para malugi ang sari-sari store. So hindi pwede yon. And then next is loose leaders. So dito is benta ng produkto below cost para maka-attract ng customers. Para same din sa Unfair Sales Act. So example, supermarket na mura ang gatas para pumapasok yung mga tao. Kumbaga binababaan nila yung presyo nila para maka-attract ng mga customers. So next is the price advertising guidelines. So dito bawal ang misleading price claims. Like for example, 50% off pero hindi naman talaga nagbenta sa original price. So pricing environment and pricing wars. So types of pricing environment. May tatlong klase ng pricing environment. We have market controlled. Ito mataas ang competition, maliit naman ang control. Kumbaga dito is nagko-control ng market yung pricing. Like for example, sa fast food, kailangan sumasabay sa presyo ng competitors. And then next is company controlled. Dito is nagko-control na yung price is nagko-control ng company. Like for example, sa Tesla, unique yung product nila kaya sila ang nagsiset ng price. So next is government control. So dito pumapasok na yung regulated yung presyo. Like for example, sa tubig, sa kuryente, isalin na natin yung tuition. So ang price wars naman ay ito yung sobrang baba ng presyo para talunin ang kalaban. Pero delikado ito, pwedeng malugi ang lahat. Like for example, sa smartphone, yung brands tulad ng Xiaomi at Realme, so naglaban sila sa presyo para makuha ang market share. So dito tayo sa price quality strategies. So kumbaga setting the price. So meron siyam na strategies para i-position ang product based on the price and perceived quality. So una is premium strategy. Dito is high quality and high yung price. Kumbaga mataas din yung quality niya, mataas yung price niya, and then mataas din yung quality. Yun. And then sa second is high value strategy. Dito is high quality pero medium yung price niya. And then sa super value strategy naman, dito yung low price pero high pa rin yung quality. Number 4 naman is overchanging strategy. Dito is medium yung quality niya pero high price pa rin. Sa medium value strategy, dito is medium yung price niya and then as well as the quality. And then number 6 is good value strategy. Dito medium yung quality niya pero low price siya. And then sa number 7 naman is rip-off strategy. Dito is mababa yung quality pero high yung price niya. And then sa number 8 naman is false economy strategy. Dito is medium yung price niya, mababa yung quality. At saka number 9 naman, economy strategy, low yung price and low yung quality. Ito yung kadalasan ginagawa ng mga Chinese, di ba? Kaya nga kapag may mababa yung quality is sabi nila Chinese yan. Kasi ganun yung strategy ng Chinese para makakuha ng customers, maka-attract ng customers. Conclusion: price is not just a number, it is a strategic tools in marketing. Effective pricing requires careful consideration of both internal and external factors. Consumers perceive price differently, so understanding your target market is essential. And concepts like price elasticity, government regulations, and competitive environments play a critical role in pricing decisions. And choosing the right price quality strategy help position the brand effectively and build customer loyalty. So, ang pricing ay combination ng math, psychology, and strategy. Kapag tama ang presyo, pwedeng magdala ng success. Kapag mali, pwedeng magdulot ng loss. Kaya dapat pinag-iisipan at sinusuri. And that would be all sa part ko. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So for my chapter 14, promotion, communication with a purpose. Promotion is the most important part of a marketing. It is the way of the companies to communicate with the consumer, to make them aware of the product, pursue them to buy, and keep them buying. Even if a business has the best product, it will not success if the people do not know it exists. That's why promotion is called communication with a purpose. So, promotion means communication about a product or services to potential buyer, include several activities such as advertising, personal selling, product relations, and self-promotion. Promotion has the three main purposes. First is promotion to inform. The first purpose of promotion is to inform consumer, give the people the necessary information about the product, such as what it is, how it's work, price, where it to buy. So, like for instance, when a store has a sale, it must inform consumer about the discounts, dates, and terms. Without promotion, even the best sale will not attract buyers because people will not know it exists. That's why promotion information is to make consumer aware of the product. The second purpose of promotion is to pursue consumer. In today's competitive market, many products are seller, so business must convince consumer to choose their brand instead of other. Persuasive promotion aim to influence consumer attitude and encourage them to buy. Like for instance, nagkaroon ng commercial that show a product as more reliable, trendy, or effective. Pursue people to switch brand or try something new. Promotion pursue is to make consumer want the product. Third purpose is to remind consumer. Even loyal consumer can forget to buy a product if they not reminded. That's why we know brand like Coca-Cola, Tide, or Colgate continue to advertise regularly. Remember, promotion help maintain customer loyalty, keep the brand fresh in consumer mind. Promotion remind is to make consumer remember the product. New communication media saving promotion. New communication media have greatly changed how businesses promote their product and services. In the past, promotion mainly used traditional tools such as advertising, personal selling, and publicity through mass media like televisions, radio, and newspaper. But now, in a technology era, new forms of media have emerged, such as social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, company websites, and email marketing. These are examples of electronic interactive media that allow two-way communication. Businesses and companies can now interact directly with consumers through online comment, message, and feedback. Because of this, modern promotion has become more interactive, engaging, and effective in reaching wider audience. Promotion. First, we have a mass media. Mass media are form of communication that reach a large number of people at the same time. There is no direct interaction between the marketer and the audience. Like for example, television, radio, and newspaper. Mass media is used when a company wants to inform or push you a broad audience about the product. For example, when a shampoo commercial aired on TV, it reaches millions of viewers, but the company do not directly talk to each individual. Second, we have personal media. Here, personal media involve face-to-face or direct person-to-person communication. It focuses on individual small group interaction. In this type of promotion, there is personal contact between the seller and the buyer. This allows two-way communication, meaning the consumer can ask questions and the seller can adjust their message or can respond to the consumer question. Third, we have electronic interactive media. Here is referred to the modern digital and online platform where both marketer and consumer can interact. Like for example, social media and online shopping like TikTok, Shopee, Temu. Electronic interactive media is the most advanced form of communication today. Through the internet, consumer can now talk directly with companies, browse information, and make purchases online. It also business it also allow business to personalize ads showing different promotion depending on its customer interest. Personal selling is a direct face-to-face communication between the seller and the buyer. It's allow two-way interaction. The consumer can ask questions and the seller can respond or demonstrate the product. Like for instance, a car dealer is planning the future of a car to her customer. Advertising is any paid non-professional form of promotion that use mass media to reach a wide audience. It's used to inform, pursue, and remind consumer about a product or a brand. Advertising is to reach a large number of people quickly and with brand awareness. Like for instance, is TV commercial like Jollibee, Coca-Cola, and shampoo like Sunsilk. Publicity or public relation. Publicity or PR involve building a good image for the company or product through non-paid communication, usually in the form of news, story, event, or public appearance. Unlike advertising, publicity is not paid by the company but still help promote their reputation. Publicity is to create public awareness and maintain a positive image for the company and businesses. Like for example, a company featured in the news for donating to charity. Self-promotion. Self-promotion includes a short-term incentive or activities that encourage consumer to buy immediately. It gives people extra reason to purchase, often for a limited time. Self-promotion is to boost short-term sales and attract new customer. Like for example, discount or buy one take one offer or coupon. Nagbibigay ng coupon yung mga companies para makaless yung mga consumer. Let's proceed to the element of communication process. The communication process explains how information or idea are shared between two parties, the sender and the receiver, through a media and a channel. It is essential in making and promotion because it shows how companies deliver their message to customers. So let's start with the sender. The sender is the source of origin of the message. It is the person or organization that want to communicate information, an idea, or a feeling. In marketing, sender is usually the company or advertiser who want to tell the public about the product or services. Like for example, the Coca-Cola Company. The sender is the Coca-Cola Company. Create an advertiser to tell people about the joy of drinking Coke. Next, message. The message is the information that the sender want to communicate to the receiver. It can be in the form of word, image, sound, symbol, or action. But in marketing, the message usually promote the benefits or image of a product. Example, Coca-Cola message may be happiness and refreshment in every bite. Encoding. Encoding is the process of transforming an idea into a form that can be sent and understood by the receiver. The sender decides how to express the message through picture, word, music, video, or ad. But in a marketing, encoding means turning a product idea into an advertisement or campaign. Example, Coca-Cola encode its message through a TV commercial show happy people sharing Coke during a picnic. The visual and music help deliver the message of joy and together. Media or channel. Media or channel is the path through which the message travels from the sender to the receiver. It is the medium used to communicate, such as TV, radio, internet, newspaper, social media, poster, or even personal selling. In marketing, media or channel, companies choose the most effective media depending on their target audience. Like for example, Coca-Cola may show its ad on YouTube, Facebook, and television to reach a wide audience. Receiver. The receiver is the person or group who get the message. They interpret or understand the meaning based on their own experience, beliefs, and emotion. But in marketing, the receiver is the consumer or target audience who watch, reads, or listen to ad. Example, people watching the Coca-Cola commercial are the receiver of the company message. Decoding. Decoding is a process by which the receiver interprets or makes sense of the message. It's how they understand the meaning that the sender wanted to express. But in marketing, decoding is the message is clear. Consumer understand what the brand stands for. Like for example, viewer decode Coca-Cola ad as a message of happiness, friendship, and refreshment. Feedback. Feedback is the response or reaction of the receiver back to the sender. It shows whether the message was understood correctly. But in the marketing, feedback can come in the form of sale, consumer comment, like, share, or reviewer. Example, if people buy more Coca-Cola or share their ads online, that positive feedback showing the message was effective. Noise. Noise refers to the anything that disrupt or distort the message during communication. It can be physical, mental, or emotional interference that prevent clear understanding. But in marketing, noise can be too many ad or share message, distraction, or misinformation. Example, if Coca-Cola ad is showed during a loud or irrelevant TV program, viewer may not pay attention that noise. That's all for my topic. Thank you for watching and listening to my explanation. Good day, everyone.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to each and everyone, especially to you, sir. Before I discuss my topic, I introduce myself. My name is Heroin J. Matalo. And we have 6 topics to discuss. The first one is perfect communication. The second is the hierarchy of communication effect. The third is promotion staircase, and the fourth is chapter 15, the advertising and sales promotion, and the 5 is institutional framework in advertising. The last one is advertising agencies. So first, I discuss the perfect communication. Perfect communication or perfect transmissions is never possible. For example, of this, like using a phone to communicate someone, the barriers is their communication is the noise or either the loss of the weak of signal access. The sender decoded the exact message, but the receiver might be not have get the exactly message, but the receiver might be not have get the exactly message, but the receiver is just going to familiarize the message so that have message transmitted to someone or somebody might not, but it just being familiarized the topic. So the second is the hierarchy communication effect. So the hierarchy of communication effect has a different perspective to promote the product that the commercial of the product will or can convince the customer to purchase. Like for example, of this, like the McDonald's, they lots of materials and endorser to promote their product. A customer sometimes when the endorser they don't like the product is not convincing to purchase that like they have lots of endorser in different ways and beliefs to promote the product, especially like Muslim. Sometimes when the product it's not halal, we never purchase the product. So the third is the promotion staircase. Like for example, the promotion staircase is Perla. This might not common to us, but as the user Perla so can use to any purpose in laundry for bath or any. First, the brand is Perla soap, and you are aware that Perla can use to laundry and in our face. When the customer start to liking the product, that is the time you can convince the customer to purchase your product because it have indifferent flavor and can be liquid, bar, and powder. So the fourth is chapter 15, the advertising and sales promotion. In marketing, advertising and sales promotion is an element to know the product. In form of advertising, you need to start your product in yourself to show to everyone that the product you have is doing better for more identifying of your product. You need to have endorser and sponsor of your product so that you can start it in sales promotion. Because one of element of marketing in advertising, the fastest promotions or platform in using the promote product nowadays in a social media to spread the product using the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok is one unhelpful platform to promote and sales product. So next is institutional framework in advertising. So ang institutional framework in advertising, it refers the set of rules, regulations, and organizations that govern and oversee that advertising industry. Its framework is designed to protect consumers, promote fair competition, and ensure that advertising is truthful and transparent. So example, sabihin natin may isang kumpanya ng Green Clean na gustong mag-advertise ng kanilang produkto tulad ng sa paglilinis na eco-friendly sa television. Ang kumpanya ay nagsasabi na ang produkto ay 100% natural at ganap na biodegradable, ngunit ang kumpanya ay hindi nagbigay ng sapat na ebidensya upang masuportahan ang mga claim na ito. So the last one is advertising agencies. So advertising agencies is the one major role of promoting product to develop of unadvertised and to turn to commercial. Without the advertising agencies, the product might become useless, and besides, you become broke of your product. The agencies, their role is to forecast of media time and space. They have the decisions in purchasing the product, like the demand of the product. Like for example, of the beauty cream, the CEO of the product will have partnerships to other agencies to make their product because the popular and they have a power to have a endorser or sponsor, and sometimes making a high billboard in a city to promote their product, and sometimes they have a reseller. That's all for my discussions. Again, I am Nurul J. Matolo. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a pleasant day. Here in front of you is Mr. Ridwan G. Shabudin, a third year food technology student. I am a member of Group 2 and I am the fourth reporter. So in this video, we will be discussing about the media. The types of media, which is the electronic media, the print media, and the outdoor media. Also, we will be discussing about the nature of advertising, product advertising, and institutional advertising. And lastly, we will be discussing about planning and developing advertising campaigns, communication goals for advertising, specific advertising objectives, and advertising objectives and the product. So, in the end of this video, hopefully, we will be able to understand the importance of media in product advertising. So, para malaman natin kung gaano ba kahalaga ang role ng media para sa product advertising. And second, to learn the nature of advertising. Para malaman kung ano ba meron dito kay advertising to. And lastly, to know how to plan and develop advertising campaigns. So, para maintindihan natin at para malaman kung paano mag-plan at mag-develop ng mga advertising campaigns. para magamit natin in the future if ever na magbenta tayo ng product. So first, we will be discussing about media in marketing. So ano ba tong si media sa marketing? So ang media sa marketing is refers to all the channels that the advertisers use to deliver their message to their audiences. So isa itong kasangkapan para ma-reach ng mga marketers yung mga audience nila o yung mga customers nila para maipaalam na may mga products sila na ibebenta. So, media is essential in marketing because yun na nga, it acts as the bridge between the brand and the audience. So, pag walang itong si media, advertising messages is hindi nakakarating sa mga consumer, sa mga audience. So meaning, hindi magbo-boost ng sale yung product mo. Kasi nga, hindi niya naabot yung mga customers or hindi alam ng mga customers na may product. So, ang media is may tatlong siyang major channels. Ito na is electronic media, the print media, and the outdoor media. So, gaya nga ng nabanggit ko is may tatlong uri ng media or may three major categories of media. So, first, i-discuss natin yung electronic media. So, alam naman natin sa panahon ngayon, nasa digital era na tayo. So, mostly, lahat ng mga tao is gumagamit ng mga electronics, ng mga gadgets. So, napaka-influential niya sa marketing. Isa ito sa napaka-malakas na channels na ginagamit ng company or ng isang brand para maabot yung mga consumers nila or yung mga audiences. So, kabilang sa mga electronic media is mga radio, cable TV, satellite TV, and multimedia. Gaya ng mga gadgets, gaya ng cellphone, laptops, and tablets, and many more. So, ginagamit ito siya ng mga company or brand, kagaya ng mga Jollibee, so may TV advertisement sila, gaya ng mga Nestle products, ng mga cosmetics. Napaka-influential niya nga kasi nga malawak yung nasasakop niya na audiences. That's all. Then second is print media. So sa panahon ngayon, alam naman natin na sa digital era na tayo. So we assume na patay na itong si print media. Well, in fact, napaka-essential pa rin niya sa mga certain audiences, kagaya ng mga matatanda, mga professionals, and mga tao na nasa regional communities. So, si print media ito na is mga newspapers, flyers, magazines, journals, and other printed publications. So, example, may nagbubukas na bagong boutique or bagong tindahan. So, mag-release sila ng mga flyers ng mga sales nila para malaman ng mga tao. So, isa na yun example ng print media sa marketing. So, lastly is outdoor media. So, outdoor media is mostly ginagamit siya sa mga busy cities, kagaya ng Metro Manila. Kasi nga heavy yung traffic, mas visible siya sa mga tao, kasi nga malaki. Kabilang sa mga outdoor media is mga billboards, posters, neon signs, and mga banners. So, gaya ng nabanggit ko, ito is mga billboard siya. So, gaya ng for example ng Jollibee, may mga billboard sila na nandoon sa highway ng EDSA yon para makita ng mga tao. So, isa yon example ng outdoor media. So, meron din tayo dito outdoor media doon sa NDCC na LED screen. So, pag may mga promos sa nila doon sa NDCC is pina-flash nila sa sa LED screen para malaman ng mga tao na may promo sila. So, that is outdoor media in marketing. So now, we will be discussing about the nature of advertising. Alam naman natin kung anong advertisement. So, ito yung mga napapanood natin sa mga TV. So, advertisement yon is bayad siya. non-professional form of communication. Nakadesign yung advertisement para mag-deliver ng persuasive message sa mga audience nila. So, yung advertisement is may dalawang essential part. Ito na yung the message and the medium. Kailangan to siya mag-work together para maabot niya yung mga tamang audience niya or mga consumers. So, advertisement or advertising is nagamitan siya ng media para nga maabot yung mga tao. Yung media is kagaya ng TV, radio, newspapers, or mga magazines to reach large group at once. So, ito siya, unlike personal selling, ang nature ng advertisement is one-way communication siya. So, isa lang. So, hindi siya nagpro-provide ng feedback galing sa mga consumers. So, yung mga advertisers, pinabayaran nila yung media. So, kapag binabayaran nila yung media, they have full control over what the message says, when it appears, and how often it repeated. So, yun na nga. May karapatan sila na anong dapat ipahatid ng advertisement nila and kailan ba ito ipapalabas and kailan or gaano kadalas ito ipapalabas sa isang TV commercials. So, yung mga marketers is nagre-rely sila sa advertisement para impluwensyahan yung mga tao na hindi interesado sa brand nila na para magkaroon ng interest sa brand nila. So, the challenge pushes advertisers to use creative attention-grabbing strategies. Creative advertising can stimulate word of mouth, which helps spread message more effectively. So, yun na. Advertising also supports other promotional tools by giving informations about the sales promotions, public relations event, or product benefits. So, yun na nga. Sinusupport niya, advertising is sinusupport niya kung may mga sales about sa product na yan or may mga event about sa product na yan and kung ano ba yung makukuha mong benefit sa product. Helping salespeople by preparing or pre-selling potential customers. Yun nga. Yun yung nature ng advertisement. So, product advertising. So, product advertising promotes a specific brand or product and aims to make consumer buy that product. So, product advertising is pinopromote niya yung isang product, yung specific product or brand para mabili ng customers. Yun na nga. Yun din naman talaga yung aim ng advertisement para mabili yung product na yon ng mga customers. So, may dalawang types of product advertising. Ito na yung direct action product advertising and indirect action product advertising. Pag sinasabi nating direct action product advertising is in-encourage niya yung mga audience na bumili agad or mag-react agad. Gaya ng mga plus sales sa TikTok. So, limited time offer. So, parang pinupush niya yung mga tao na bumili agad. Ganon yung direct action product advertising. Gaya sa mall, like may mga limited offers for a certain period of time. Like sa mga Christmas ganyan, mga sales nila. Na so yun is direct action product advertising kasi nga minamadali ng mga brand yon para bilihin yung product nila. Unlike sa indirect action product advertising, binibuild niya yung product image over time rather than forcing an instant purchase. Yun na nga. Ginagamitan nila ng emotion, storytelling, or lifestyle appeal to make the brand memorable when the consumer eventually decide to buy. So, yun na nga. Hindi siya nagmamadali para mabenta yung product nila, itong si indirect action product advertising. Kumbaga, binibuild nila yung product nila para mas maganda yung image niya. Yun na nga. Para maging memorable yung brand sa consumer na eventually mag-decide na bumili ng isang product na yan. So, Second is institutional advertising. Institutional advertising promotes the company, industry, or cause itself, not a specific product. The goal is to build trust, goodwill, public image, or industry awareness. So, institutional advertising, ito na yung mga, nakikita nyo yung mga bank advertising gaya ng BDO. So, binibuild nila yung, yung company nila, binibuild nila ng trust, goodwill, and public image, or industry awareness para magkaroon ng tiwala yung mga tao sa company nila or sa, yun na, sa company and sa services nila. Planning and developing advertising campaigns. So, para makadevelop ng effective advertising campaigns, kailangan mo ng collaboration or coordinated decisions when it comes to decision makings about the goals, the budget, and the creative strategy, and the media selection. So, advertising is never done in isolation. So, advertising is kailangan siya mag-fit sa company's overall marketing strategy. Advertising cannot sell the product alone. It's work together with product strategy, pricing, packaging, distribution, and promotional mix. So, di porket may advertisement yung product mo is sureball na mabebenta mo na siya. Hindi kanon. Kailangan niya mag-work with product strategy. Kailangan na plan mo ng maayos yung product mo. Paano mo siya ibebenta? Dapat mura lang yung product mo, affordable, and sa packaging, and sa distribution, pati na din sa promotional mix. So, kailangan to siya mag-work together, walang maiiwan sa lima na yan para mabenta mo yung product mo. Di porket may advertisement yung product mo is mabebenta mo na siya agad. Yon yung tandaan nyo. Di porket may advertisement yung product is mabebenta na. So, communication goals for advertising. So, ang goals ng advertising is para mag-communicate sa mga audience. In the context of marketing, what the marketers wants a promotional message to accomplish. Yung gusto ng mga marketers ma-accomplish sa communication goals sa advertising is para makakuha ng attention, para maintindihan ng mga tao, and para mapagkatiwalaan, and lastly is para matandaan ng mga tao. Yon yung communication goals ng advertisement. To gain attention, para mapansin ng mga tao, to be understood, para maintindihan kung anong meron sa product na yon or sa brand na yon, and to be believed, para mapagkatiwalaan yung product nila, para magkaroon ng trust yung mga audience, yung mga consumers, and lastly is to be remembered, para maalala, para magkaroon ng repurchase sa product nila. So, specific advertising objectives. After communication goals, marketers set specific objectives such as increasing brand awareness, para magkaroon yung mga tao ng awareness sa brand nila, para generating more sales leads, para magkaroon ng sales boost sa product nila, supporting salesperson, people, or distributors. So, para suportahan yung mga retailers, yung mga franchisers sa product nila. Like sa Jollibee. So, sa pamagitan ng advertisement is, other brands nila is, masusuportahan nila, mabuboost nila yung sales ng, ng franchise nila. Boosting usage among current consumers. So, para magkaroon ng repurchase yung mga current consumers, and encouraging repeat purchases. Yun na nga, para bumili yung mga tao ng paulit-ulit na product na yun. Yung specific advertising objectives. Advertising objective and the product life cycle. Advertising objectives much change because marketing is dynamic. So, advertising objective and the product life cycle. So, advertising objectives much change. So, yung advertising objectives mo is dapat naiiba siya sa panahon. Kasi nga, yung market is dynamic. So, kailangan mo mag-adapt sa anong trend sa market. Kasi nga yung market is napaka-wide niya, napaka-broad. As the environment, consumers, and competitors evolve, advertising must adapt. So yun na nga, gaya ng McDo, gaya pala ng Jollibee, di ba? Yung McDo is kinuha nila yung SB19 para mag-endorse ng ano nila, ng company nila. So anong ginawa ng Jollibee is nag-adapt sila sa trend na yon. Kinuha nila yung Bini para i-promote din yung company nila. Yun na nga. And last, the product life cycle or PLC helps marketers understand what type of advertising is needed at each stage of the product's life. So yun na, yung product life cycle is tinutulungan niya yung mga marketers na intindihin kung ano ba advertising or advertisement na kailangan sa product nila. Yun na. Primary demand. Demand for a product class as a whole without regard to brand. Also known as generic brand. Ito na yung primary demand. Ito is demand siya as a whole. Hindi siya nakabase sa brand. Ito nakabase siya sa product line. Example sa mga cosmetics. Hindi siya naka-specific sa anong brand. Basta cosmetic lang siya. Then primary demand advertising. Advertising aim at stimulating primary demand, also known as pioneering advertising. Ito na, ginagamit yung primary demand advertising is kapag nagsisimula lang yung product mo or bago lang yung isang product. Selecting demand advertising. Advertising aim at stimulating demand for a particular brand. Ito na, kapag matured na yung product mo is selecting demand advertising na ginagamit mo kasi nga binibuild mo na yung trust and loyalty ng mga consumer mo. Then PLC stage. Yan na, no? Product life cycle. Introduction. So nasa introduction stage ka. So advertising focus is dapat na sa primary demand lang. Yung goal ng ng advertisement mo is teach, explain, and build awareness about your product. Kapag nasa growth stage naman yung product mo is dapat kinagamitan mo ng primary demand. Product life cycle stage, advertising focus and goal. Introduction stage. So advertising focus niya is nasa primary demand. So ang goal niya is to teach, explain, and build awareness about the product. So, growth stage, ang advertising focus niya is primary demand advertising. So, binibuild niya yung consumers' preferences. So, para ma-distinguish yung brand nila sa ibang brand, kung ano ba yung benefit ng brand nila compare sa ibang brand. Ganon yung build trust. Ganon yung primary demand advertising. So, maturity stage, advertising focus is selective demand. So, ang goal niya is loyalty, usage, and brand image. Then, decline stage, advertising focus niya is selective demand. So, ang goal niya is para i-maintain lang yung mga important about sa product nila. And that would be all about my topic. Hopefully, you understand. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to each and everyone. I'm Norshalin Ramadan, and today I'll discuss the media selection. So, media selection means choosing the right audience and type of media to reach a large number of people effectively. So, example, imagine company like Pepsi launching a new flavor. So instead of showing the advertisement everywhere, they select mass of young people who loves music and sports. So Pepsi shows advertisement during sport matches and on social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube. So, this way, they reach millions of young consumers who loves who are actually interested. So, which media? Which media? After choosing the audience, the next question is which media should be used. There are many options: TV, radio, print or online, and newspaper and magazine. So the choice depends on the target audience, the product, and the budget. Example, if a company sells luxury watches, they might choose magazine like GQ or Vogue because their readers are professional and fashion conscious people. But if it's a fast food chain like McDonald's, TV advertisement and social media better because they reach families and students quickly. So mass media. Mass media are communication channels that can reach a large audience at once. This includes TV, radio, newspapers, and the internet. These are important because they spread the message to millions in a short time. So example, during the FIFA World Cup, companies like Adidas and Coca-Cola use TV commercial to reach a global audience. Even if not everyone buys the product immediately, the brand name becomes familiar to everyone watching. So next is electronic interactive media. So electronic interactive media, this refers to digital or online media where people can interact with advertisement. Instead of just watching and reading an advertisement, users can click, explore, or even respond to it. Example, a beauty brand like Lakme launches an online advertisement where users can try visual makeup shades on their photo. This interactive experience makes customers more engaged and likely to buy the product. In short, it's not just one-way communication, it's a conversation between the brand and the consumers. So, direct marketing with databases. Direct marketing means contacting customers personally using data collection about them, like names, address, age, or buying habits. Example, a diaper brand creates a list of families with babies. Then, they send emails or message offering discount on baby product. This method is very effective because the advertisement goes directly to people who need the product, not to everyone. So, email as an advertising medium. Email advertising is one of the most common type of direct marketing today. Companies can send special offers, newsletters, or new product announcement directly to a customer's inbox. So, example, Shopee or Lazada send emails about their upcoming sales or discount based on what you search or bought before. However, if companies send too many emails without permission, it becomes spam and customers might get annoyed. That's why good marketers use permission marketing, meaning they only email customers who agree to receive update. So each medium has advantages and disadvantages. So every advertising medium has its own good sides and bad sides. For example, large TV, large audience and visual impact. So, in good sides niya, or the advantage, large audience and visual impact, and the disadvantage is too expensive. And the magazine is the advantage niya, high quality image, and the disadvantage, long time to publish. So, let's move on to media schedule is a plan that decides when and how often an advertisement will appear. So, the main goal is to make sure the target audience is the advertisement enough times to remember it, but not so often that they get bored. So, example, a perfume might start advertising heavily in January and February to prepare for Valentine's Day. They plan their media schedule to show advertisement on TV every evening, plus daily updates on Instagram. This helps build excitement. This helps build excitement right before the buying season. So, measuring the effectiveness of advertising. We check whether sales increased, brand awareness improved, or more people visited their website. Advertising is expensive, so measuring results helps companies decide if they should continue, change, or stop a campaign. So, developing message and presenting advertisement. Developing message before showing an advertisement to the public. Companies first develop the message and taste it. This is called retesting. So they may show it a small group to check if the message is clear, interesting, and memorable. So example, a chocolate company makes two versions of its advertisements. One showing children enjoying chocolate, another one is showing couples gifting chocolate. So they test both advertisements with focus groups to see which one people like more. Post-testing advertisement. After the advertisement has been shown to the public, companies conduct post-testing to measure its impact. They ask questions like, do people remember the advertisement? Did they like it? Did it change their buying behavior? So, example, a detergent company might conduct survey or interviews after running a TV advertisement to see how many viewers remember the brand's name and whether they tried the product afterward. So the last one is sales as a measure of advertising effectiveness. So one of the most direct ways to check if an advertisement works is to look at sales data. If sales increases after an advertisement campaign, it suggests that the advertisement was effective. However, sometimes sales can be affected by other things like price changes, competitors, or seasonal demand. So companies must analyze carefully. So, in conclusion, advertising plays a powerful role in connecting business with their target audience. It is not just about creating attractive message, but also about choosing the right media, timing, and strategy to reach people effectively. Each medium, whether it's TV, print, or online, has its own advantages and disadvantages. So, advertisers must plan carefully through mass selection and proper media schedule. Modern advertising also uses interactive and direct marketing tools like email and databases to reach customers personally. However, creating and showing advertisements is only half of the process. Companies must also measure their effectiveness through testing, feedback, and sales results. So overall, successful advertising depends on a balance between creativity, planning, and analysis. So when done right, it helps build brand awareness, influences consumer behavior, and increases sales, turning simple message into a strong connection between brand and people. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, especially to you Sir Nico Chua. I am Travis Entingkahan and today I'm going to report my topic. My topic is creative strategy and copy and arts working together, the idea formula. First is creative strategy. Creative strategy refers to the approach or plan used to develop and execute creative work such as advertising, branding, and marketing campaign. Example, as a business owner, kailangan mong makaisip ng paraan kung paano mo ma-increase ang benta ng iyong product. Advertising, kailangan mong kumuha ng mga endorser na kilala kagaya na lang ng mga artista. One of my example ay si Coco Martin. Si Coco Martin ay nag-endorse siya ng inasal at pinapakita niya kung papaano niya ini-enjoy ito at kung papaano siya nasasarapan. Kaya ang mga tao ay naa-attract at gustong bumili para matikman ang inasal na ito. Branding. Sa branding ay may nakalagay sa inasal yung sa picture na only rice. Kaya ginawa nila ito para ma-attract yung mga tao at mas marami ang bumibili. Kasi imbis na bumibili lang sila ay only rice pa at mabubusog talaga ang mga tao dito. Kasi nga only rice. Marketing campaign. Sa marketing campaign naman, dito na pinopost ang mga advertising na ginagawa ng mga business owner. At pinopost na sa mga website through social media kagaya na lang ng Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Dito nila pinopost ang mga advertising nila para yung mga tao kahit sa social media ay makikita ang mga product nila. Creative process. In advertising, the generation of ideas and developing of the advertising message or concept make up the creative process. Actually, creativity is the necessary to all aspects of the marketing mix, but the term has one come to be particular associated with the work of people who actually develop, construct advertising. Creative process. One of my example is yung Apple product. Sa Apple product, 'di ba? Sa every year nag-upgrade sila ng mga brand ng Apple kasi para ma-maintain nila ang mga bumibili sa kanila. Kagaya na lang ngayon, meron silang bagong palabas na brand ng iPhone, yung iPhone 17. At na-attract naman ang tao dahil sa bagong labas nito at good quality. Kaya madalas madaming bumibili sa iPhone kahit medyo may kamahalan kasi nga good quality ito sa mga pag-picture or paggawa ng mga video or pag-vlog ng mga tao. Kaya mismo yung iPhone ang ginagamit nila. Ang creativity, yun ang nagbibigay creative spark. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit nakaka-convince or persuasive ang ad. Ang mga copywriters at art director ang sumasagot sa dalawang mahalagang tanong. What to say it? Ano ang ipaparating na mensahe? How to say it? Ano ang ipapakita o ipapahayag na mensahe? What to say the appeal? One of my example is food truck. Pwede nating ibigay ang isang salita natin na nakaka-attract sa mga tao or customers. Like, taste the best. Eat on the street. How to say it? Execution of the appeal. Dito naman, kahit maganda ang pagkakabigay mo ng mensahe mo o message, kung hindi naman maganda ang pagkakapunta ay mawawala ang impact ng product. Dito pumapasok ang execution of the appeal. Advertising them. Ito yung advertisement na may kanya-kanyang them, na gumagawa sila ng nakaka-excite at nakaka-attract sa mga customer. Like example sa shampoo na clear. Yung them niya ay nakakaalis ito ng dandruff at naa-attract ang mga tao dahil sa product na ito at nakakaalis ito ng dandruff. Kaya madami ang mga bumibili sa shampoo na clear. That's why people are being attracted on the product because on the benefit that they can get on the product. Creative platforms. Ito yung mga gumagawa ka ng platforms mo. Like example, shampoo for boys. And ang creative platforms mo is say goodbye flex. Sa mga lalaki, madami mga problema sa mga dandruff. Kaya bumibili sila ng shampoo at ipopromote nila sa social media. Storyline. Kapag nagbibenta ka, like example, beauty product like whitening, kailangan mo muna itong subukan bago mo ibenta kung effective ba at maayos gamitin. Para naman may makita ang mga customer mo na effective yung ginagamit mo, yung product mo, at bago mo ibenta sa kanila. Para naman bibili sila ng product mo. Kasi kapag may napatunayan ka kung effective talaga ang product mo, ay bibili mismo ang mga customer mo. Kasi ikaw na mismo yung nag-try ng isang product mo na ginamit mo at effective sa'yo. Kaya yung mga customer mo ay bibili ng product mo. Product use, problem, solution. Pinapakita kung paano nakakatulong ang product. Like example, Colgate, fight tooth decay. Eureka, Forbes vacuum cleaner, keep your home clean. Slice of life, real life scenes or relatable situation. Example, boost is the secret of my energy. Demonstration, pinapakita mismo ang effectiveness ng product. Master, like example, master lock na binabaril pero hindi nabubuksan. Informational, parang TV program na nagdidemo ng product. Comparative advertising, direktang pinaghahambing ang dalawang product. Like example, Pepsi at Coke. Commercial. Testimonial, sikat o expert na tao na nagsasabi na ginagamit ang product. Example, doctor endorsing a coach syrup or celebrity ads. Spokesperson, representative ng brands na direktang nakikipag-usap sa audience. Lifestyle, pinapakita ang lifestyle ng target market. Like example, Thumbs Up. Adventurous, energetic life. Still life, focus lang sa product mismo, visual, attractive. Like example, Absolute Vodka ads. Association, ginagamit ng analogy o kaugnayan para mas maging interesting. Like example, Lysol, it's like having a brush in a bottle. Fantasy, ginagamit ng imagination o wild dreams ng target market. Example, deodorant ads. Jingle, catchy song a verse para madali matandaan. Example, Lifebuoy Hai Zahan Tanduristi Hai Wahan. Montage, pinaghalong clips o scenes para ipakita ang excitement o variety. Example, travel ads ng Singapore or Pepsi Generation. Copy and art working together, the AIDA formula. Most advertisement, which the exception of radio advertisement, feature both copy and art. The two elements must work together to accomplish the communication. Objective set by management to ensure that copy and art complement each other. Most advertisers follow a hierarchy of effective model known as the AIDA formula. AIDA formula stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. The AIDA formula is a classic copywriter framework that can be applied to both copy and art. A. Attention. Grab the audience attention. I. Interest. Generate interest and curiosity. D. Desire. Create desire for the product or service. A. Action. Encourage action and conversation. Here how it apply to copy and art. Copy. A attention, headline or hook that grab attention. I. Interest. Body text that generates interest and curiosity. D. Desire. Benefit and featuring that create desire. A. Action, call to action, CTA that encourage actions. Art. A. Attention. I. Catching visual or graphics. I. Interest, image or design element that generate interest. D. Desire. Visual that create desire or emotional connection. A. Action. Visual, cause or design element that encourage action. By applying the AIDA formula to both copy and art, you can create a cohesive and effective ad that resonate with your audience. And that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a pleasant day to each and everyone. First and foremost, I would like to introduce myself. I am Mahniza Lestam Sahib and the last reporter in Group 2. And now I will discussing the one of the most important parts in the marketing, which is the sales promotion. So, ano nga ba ang sales promotion? So, let's tackle about it. So, sales promotion. The sales promotion talks about the ways and the strategies na binibigay ng company para mahikayat ang mga mamimili or consumers or mga negosyante na bumili agad ng isang product or services. Or, in a simple way, nagbibigay yung company ng reasons or motivations para mahikayat tayo mamili ng binibigay nilang product or goods and services. So, in conclusion sa sales promotion yung sales promotion, it is a very important part in the marketing. Kasi if wala kang sales promotion, pwedeng bababa yung percentage ng product mo and bababa din yung income mo. So, yung sales promotion kasi is nagpapalakas siya ng interest ng mga consumers or pinapanatili niyang competitive yung mga companies. Let's go to the next slide, which is the purpose of sales promotion. Sales promotion serves different purpose depending on the company's objective. So, nagdedepende sa mga goal ng companies and yung mga target audience nila. So, pero yung main goal talaga nila is to encourage immediate action, whether it's trying a new product, buying more of an existing one, or strengthening business relationship. So, yun yung one of the purpose ng sales promotion. So, meron ngang objective, no, yung purpose of sales promotion. Isa na dito yung free sample. So, yung free sample is ginagamit nila para ma-motivate yung mga consumers na subukan yung product. And kapag nasubukan nila yung product na yun, and nagustuhan nila, may possible na lalaki yung bibili or maraming bibili sa product na yun. So, in a short way, yung purpose ng sales promotion is hindi lang para tumaas yung benta nila, kundi para magkaroon sila ng matatag and yung pangmatagalang relation sa mga consumers at yung sa mga negosyante. Okay, so let's go to the next topic, which is the major decision in sales promotion. So, if yung company nagpa-plan sila ng sales promotion, hindi lang yun basta-basta mag-give ng discounts or free items. So, it's all about making several important decision na nagde-determine whether yung promotion kung magsa-succeed ba or mag-fail. So, yung mga marketers, so dapat sila mag-go sa step-by-step decision-making process para ma-ensure talaga na yung promotion is effective, well-timed, and suitable para sa target audience nila. So, to use the sales promotion effectively, the company must follow this structured process. Number one is the establishing the objects. So, establishing the objects meaning what the promotion aims to achieve, such as increasing the sales. So, the number two is the selecting consumer promotional tools. So, ano nga ba ito? So, dapat pipiliin mo yung appropriate promotional tools para sa product mo or para sa product na ipropromote mo, such as discounts. Bigyan mo sila ng discounts or coupons. Magbibigay ka din ng coupons or magpapa-contest ka. Okay, let's go to the next topic, which is the major consumer promotion tools. Here in major consumer promotion tools, there are 12 categories. Number one is the sample. Ano nga ba yung sample? So let's talk about it. Sample is the offer of a free amount of a product or services na binibigay sa mga consumers para ma-encourage sila na matry yung product na yon. So, it is a strategic planning technique, no, na designated to introduce products, stimulate interest, and ultimately drive sales. So, examples is the delivery methods. Delivered door-to-door. This involves distributing yung products or samples directly to the households. Ini-ensure nila na wide and reach within a specific geographic area. So, number two is the coupons. Coupons is certificate na nagbibigay ng karapatan sa bearer to a stated saving on the purchase of a specific product or services. So, they are versatile, no, promotional tool used to incentivize purchases, reward loyalty, or attract new customers. So, yung distribution methods nito is mailed. Coupons can be sent directly to consumers' homes or targeting specific geographic areas or demographics. Okay, so the number three is the cash refund offers. Ano nga ba yung cash refund offers? Cash refund offers, also known as rebates, nag-provide siya ng price reduction after the purchase. Consumers, nagsasend sila ng proof of purchase sa manufacturer, who then refunds a portion of the purchase price, typically by mail or online transfer. How it works? Number one is the purchase. Consumer buys the product of full price. Number two is the proof of purchase. Yung consumers is nagsasubmit sila ng form with the receipt and UPC code sa manufacturer. And number three is verification. Yung manufacturers naman, bine-verify nila yung proof of purchase. So, the last one is the number four, refund. The manufacturer, nagsasend sila ng check or electronic refund. So, ganun yung nag-work. Okay, so the number four is the price packs. So, yung price packs, also known as cents off, is a deal na nag-aalok sa mga consumers na pinakamababa or pinakatipid na regular na price ng isang product. So, yung pinaka-lowest price is clearly na pinapakita sa label or packaging ng product. So, ginagawa nila agad ito para makita ng mga consumers sa isang product. Okay, number 5 is the premium or gifts. Yung premiums are merchandise offered at a relatively low cost or mababang presyo or free as an incentive para maka-purchase a particular product yung mga consumers. So, they are a way to add value to a purchase and encourage consumers to choose one brand over another brand. Okay, the number 6 is the prices. Yung prices naman, yung company is nag-offer sila or nag-give sila sa mga consumers the chance to win cash, trips, or merchandise as a result of purchasing something or participating in a promotional activity. So, these promotions aim to increase engagement, brand awareness, and sales. So, sa tools na nagbibigay sila ng gifts is doon dadami din yung mga consumers nila. Dadami din yung nagpa-purchase ng product na binibigay nila. Okay, so the number 7 is the Patronage Award. The Patronage Award is a type of sales promotion strategy used by businesses to encourage customers to remain loyal. So, ini-encourage nila yung mga customers para maging loyal na mamili sa kanila. And to continue buying their products or services regularly. So, yung award na yon is often given to repeat customers. Binibigay yung award sa mga repeat customers as a way of showing appreciation and gratitude to their continued support. Okay, so the number 8 is the free trial. The free trial is also a tools to promote a product. And that allows customers to try a product or services for free and for limited time before sila mag-decide kung bibili nila ba yung isang product or hindi. So, yung main purpose ng free trial is para ma-attract yung new customers and to let them experience the benefits of the product without any financial risk. So, the number 9 is the product warranties. Yung product warranties is also a type of sales promotion and customers assurance offered ina-offer ng company na nagpa-promise to repair, replace, and refund a product if it is found to be defective or not working properly within a certain period of time. So, in simple terms, yung warranty is the company's guarantee of quality and reliability sa mga customers nito. Okay, let's go to the number 10, which is the tie-in promotion. It is also a type of sales promotion where two or more products or brands are promoted together. So, yung dalawang product is ina-advertise or gina-promote together to encourage customer para mag-buy ng dalawang product na yun. So, it is a marketing strategy na kino-combine one product with another, usually because they are related or complement to each other. So, yan yung meaning ng tie-in promotion. Okay, the number 11 is the cross-promotion. Cross-promotion is a strategy where two or more different businesses or brands work together para mag-promote ng each other's product or services. So, this means that each company helps the other reach more customers by advertising or offering the other's product as part of their marketing campaign. So, yung main goal ng cross-promotion is para ma-increase yung exposure and attract new customer and strengthen yung brand partnerships nila. Okay, so the last one, the number 12, is the POP display or point of purchase display and demonstration. So, they are both important types of sales promotion techniques na ginagamit ng companies para ma-attract yung customers' attention and encourage them para mag-buy ng products, especially sa mga stores. So, yung pop display is a special display or arrangement ng products placed in areas na kung saan yung mga customers ay bumibili or nagde-decide, such as near the cash register, sa mga store, entrance, or aisle. So, yung purpose nun is to catch the eye of shoppers, remind them of the product, and influence impulse buying. So, yun yung meaning ng pop display and demonstration. Okay, so let's go to the next topic, which is the selecting trade promotion tools. So, when we say to pursue or the retailer or wholesaler to carry the brand, yung meaning nun is that manufacturers must convince stores or distributors to sell and display their products. Since there are so many brands competing for limited shelf space in store, so hindi madali for a new lesser known brand to be placed on display. Okay, so now we're in the next topic now, which is the major trade promotion tool. The number one here in the major trade promotion tool is the price off. Price off, also called off invoice or off list. So, isa siyang trade promotion tool where the manufacturers is nag-o-offer ng direct discounts on the list price of a product for a limited period. So, yung discount na yun is applied to each unit or pack purchased during the promotion period. So, yung goal is to encourage the retailers or dealers para mag-buy more products or to stock a new item that they might not usually order. So, yun yung price off, which is the number one. Okay, so we're here in our next topic, which is the selecting business and sales force promotion tools. These tools are strategies that companies use to support their sales team, impress customers, and generate new business leads. So, yung tools na to are different from consumer promotions because nagfo-focus sila sa B2B relationship and motivating the sales force rather than directly attracting end customers. Okay, so my next topic is the major business and sales force promotion tools. So, the trade shows and conventions are major business and sales force promotion tools na kung saan yung mga companies nagsho-showcase sila ng products nila or services to the potential clients, partners, and industry professionals. So, yung event na yun are usually organized by the industry association and take place annually or periodically. Okay, so our next topic is the developing a sales promotion program. Dito is yung mga marketers carefully nagpa-plan sila and nagko-coordinate multiple promotional tools and media into a total campaign. So, instead of relying on just one type of promotion, so they blend the different methods, such as coupons, yung mga contest na yan, yung mga display and advertising, so that campaigns is more effective and reaches more customers. So, sa ginagawa nilang methods na yon, marami ring customers yung nahihikayat na mag-buy ng products na gina-promote nila. So, we're done on the topic, and now let's move on to the pre-testing the program. So, in this program, it is the process of evaluating a sales promotion campaign. So, before ito na-launch nationally or widely. So, even though many programs are designated based on the past experience, pre-testing is nag-help sila para ma-ensure na yung promotion is effective, efficient, and appealing sa mga target audience nila or sa mga consumer. Okay, so, the next one. Yung after planning and pre-testing po, yung next step naman is implementation and control. Dito sa implementation and control is marketing managers must dapat mag-prepare sila ng detailed plans para sa pag-execute ng each promotions and monitoring its progress. We are in the final step in sales promotion program. Here in the final step is evaluating its effectiveness. So dito, nag-evaluate na tayo if effective ba lahat ng tools na ginamit natin. So yung manufacturers use this step para ma-determine nila whether yung promotion achieve its objectives and para to learn how future campaigns can be improved. Okay, so that's where my report ends, and I hope you guys learned about the sales promotion. Thank you, and Obadu Wassalam.